Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the penultimate round of Wheel to Wheel Season 11, Div 1, I
Season
think I'm
12.
right. Season 12, my apologies there, it's been a while since I've commentated. But my God, two races we have left in the season, starting off in the beautiful Belgian mountainside of Spa. My name is Untouchables, and joining me tonight in the commentary box is Flossie. Good evening, Floss.
How you going, Touchy? Good to be back. Haven't done commentating in a while, so we'll see how we go.
Look, we'll be just as rusty as the lobbies in GT7, so I don't think there's too much to worry about tonight. And joining us in visuals tonight is Hammy to the Bone. Good evening, Hammy.
G'day, guys.
Yeah, so like I just said there a few minutes ago, what a way to round out season 12 of Wheel to Wheel. We start off here in Spa-Francorchamps, and then next week we're off to the Nürburgring Nordschleife for the final round of the season in the Super Enduro, or second Super Enduro of the season. So, Flossie, what do you think's going to happen tonight? Who have you got your money's on tonight?
Tonight's going to be a challenging night to pick. As we were saying earlier, Apex is bloody quick in the Porsche, but you've got the likes of Fixer Chris and Goat as well, who are always very competitive, so could be anyone's game really.
Yeah, look, and there's been a bit of a change in the handling and the tyre model again for probably the 50th time in as many seconds. So Spa is feeling a little bit on the looser side of things and a little bit slippy with the tyres. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge tonight for everyone. And with the two races we've got going tonight, first race will be 11 laps, and it is a stretch on the medium tyre, which will be the mandatory compound of choice. You may see one or two people want to dive into the pits. Expect those guys to be running hot laps throughout the night to try and alleviate that pit stop delta, which I believe is about a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So it's roughly about 20 to 25 seconds you'll lose in the pits. And for race 1 there is no mandatory tyre, so that's only for race 2. So if the guys want to do the one stop, they're more than welcome to do softs for both stints.
And it looks like we're just having a few technical difficulties at the moment before we start.
Wouldn't be GT7 without them.
Oh God, no. Wouldn't be a wheel-to-wheel stream without them either. So race 1 with no mandatory tyre. Race 2, we bolt on another 2 extra laps. And I believe the medium tyre is the mandatory one in that one as well.
Yes.
I haven't paid too much attention to the calendar this week.
No, that's alright.
Expect the second race to be an all-out sprint with a stop in the middle there. Probably mediums to mediums, I would assume.
Through the testing that we've done during the week, most people have done one stint on the medium and then finish on the softs. But again, that's how well you can make those tyres last.
And shouldn't be too much longer before we get into quali. While we're waiting for the guys to get themselves sorted out. Flossie, you've been absolutely killing it in Div 2 from what I've been told. How have you rounded out the season so far?
If I don't disconnect, I think I'm on for a good finish for the season. I'm currently 3rd in the championship, but I have had 2 dropped rounds, which have counted towards my total points. So the last 2, I need to secure some good points to get a good result.
And yeah, having a look at the leaderboards at the moment for Division One. You've got a fairly tight race at the moment between the top three, with Fixer Chris currently leading the way with about 100 points gap to his name, to Apex Humper in second place, and then you do have PLE Goat in third, only chump change behind Apex at the moment. So it's going to be tight battle between those three guys tonight. Towards the final round of the championship. Interesting
Yeah,
thing to note that Goat is carrying some penalty points, so that hasn't helped his championship fight. And so that's probably aided both Chris and Apex throughout the season.
yeah, I'd say that if someone can get a clean win in race 1 and 2, it's going to set them up well going into Nürburgring.
And should probably mention as well, it is the final round of the Porsche One Make Cup tonight. So last time we'll be seeing these cars out for the year and for the season, and then we'll be off into Group 3 machinery.
We seem to be having some issues with the lobby. Fixer Chris and Captain Lowside leaving.
Three have ticked in.
I think they're changing the host to Super Dragon. A little bit of musical chairs at the moment.
And then just taking a look at the team's championship at the moment, Scuderia are currently leading the way with about 500 points gap to their name to the Damn Hexicans. I believe they are sponsored. Again, don't have my notes here in front of me, but the Damn Hexicans are currently in second place with Team Dodgy Racing third at the moment. Again, another 400 odd points behind Damn Hexicans, while we're trying to sort out the lobby issues at the moment. A big thank you and a big shout out to the team at Jade Finance Australia for being our main sponsors of the league and bringing us the hot laps week in and week out. Also want to thank a couple of the other sponsors that we have on board with us. I know 180 Embroidery are one of them that have also chosen to sponsor us throughout the season as well. We also have Hybrid Ag, again jumping on board with us for the season, so big thank you to those guys. I believe I'm missing one or two people, Floss, and I'm sure you can jump in there and tell me who I'm missing out on.
Yeah, so you got Permobile, who are sponsoring CP Motorsports. I'm just trying to have a look through. Yeah, you got Hybrid Ag. Oh, I need to find the sponsors list. Give me 1 sec, sorry. Yeah, so going through the list, we've got AMS Excavations sponsoring the Damn Hexicans. 180 Embroidery are sponsoring Team Dodgy Racing. And like you said just before, Hybrid Ag are sponsoring the championship leaders in Scuderia Quadrifoglio.
And again, we are very, both of us are very unprofessional, a little bit rusty at the moment, but we do enjoy having these sponsors on board. It does make the racing possible week in, week out. Makes these very patchy streams possible as well, week in and week out. But it looks like the guys are finally out on track, looking to get qualifying underway.
So we'll just wait for the team list, like the list to sort itself out, and we'll go through a run through.
some of the fastest guys in wheel to wheel. Again, as always, racing. Of note, we have Big Red Ralph, who is filling in for Dale. So good luck tonight, Ralph. I'll also be seeing you later on in the D League race, so I'll get your 5 seconds of fame. I'll get your thoughts out of the way when I see you later on tonight, buddy. Just running through the list at the moment, and we'll do a better run through once these guys have sorted themselves out and do start their first flying lap. But Dragon way down in 11th spot at the moment, qualifying on the medium tyres compared to the soft compound. So odd one out there for Dragon.
Oh, he might be doing an outlap and then coming in to change onto the softs. I think that is going to be the strategy tonight. So I dare say you'd see most of the boys come in on this lap to get on some fresh tyres because they've burnt some fuel.
And yeah, you'll be well and truly on top of the strategy tonight, Flossie, with the pace we've been seeing out of you the last couple of weeks, and I think I've jumped into a couple of your practice lobbies throughout the season, been yelling out marching orders for your guys in terms of lap time and fuel number. And
someone's got to do it.
And there's a couple of guys carrying on. As you said, about half the field has decided to go in and pit, but there has been a couple of drivers that have decided to carry on. So we'll run through the field here at the moment, and just going back and going up the Camel Straight at the moment, you've got Apex Humper leading the way in the AMS Excavations Dam Hexagon Porsche. Look out for him tonight to be nice and quick. Following closely behind, we've got Captain Lowside, ever reliable in that 13R Autosport team colours.
Yeah, so behind Lowside we've got Scooter in the L Plan livery. I'm not sure, are they sponsored by Jade? I don't think so, actually. Yeah, so Scooter's always quick, so he's one to look out for. Behind him, another of the damn Hexagons in Adam V10. All these guys are quick, so there's no point me harping on about each one individually.
And then 5th place at the moment, just going through Pooh on at the moment, Big Red Ralph, doing his best Tokyo Drift impersonation, trying to get used to the lack of grip around Spa at the moment, currently 5th on the road. And then we have PLE Goat, he is showing as 11th, but is the next car in the queue. He would have been the first one to pit in, I believe, and he's just bottled it right down at the bottom there at campus.
I think he let Zoo through there because Zoo was on a heater, but Zoo's now pulled off. Oh, and Zoo stopped. Alright, so yep, so overtaking Goat is Fixer Chris. Like you say, leading the Div 1 Championship at the moment, so one to watch. And following him, or behind Goat, is Seckers for the Hybrid Ag Scuderia Quadrifolio.
And then behind Seckers we have DJ Stefko in the Hybrid Ag Team Dodgy Racing Porsche, followed by a good friend of his, Showman, in the Scuderia Quadrifolio livery Porsche, and Stefko, is in the 180 embroidery Team Dodgy racing car, not the Hybrid Ag sponsored car. My apologies there.
And then the last two we've got on track are Dragon, so team owner of the Jade Finance Australia Dragon's Den, and then followed by Tombo for CP Motorsports, sponsored by Permobile.
And we do have some lap times on the board. Apex Humper 2 minutes 15 flat, followed by low side pretty much with a 2:15 or 2:15.1 as well. So those guys about there's no gap in there at the moment. So good, very quick lap times considering the lack of gripper on the track surface. And Scooter 82 rounding out the top three at the moment, about 2/10 off low side with a 15.4.
Yeah, that is some rapid times there from Apex. Oh, and I just bloody cursed him. He's spun coming out of Stavlot, I think it is.
Yes. Out of Stavlot up to the penalty zone there tonight, which is at the start of
Blanchimont, I believe it is.
And that penalty zone there is going to be a fairly hefty one, leading onto an important back straight, and it looks like Apex is kicking on for another lap with those tyres.
Scooter's gone fast. Just a 14.6. That is rapid.
Oh my god. How are these guys managing to do it, Chris? I mean, Floss? How are these guys doing these sorts of times?
I'm not sure. So Fixer Chris improves to 15.188. And I know that he's got more time in that car, so...
And one of the damn Mexicans has just fallen off the track there.
Yeah, it's Big Red Ralph.
Turn 1, and with a half-second penalty there, looks like maybe no more room for improvement. If he's fast enough, might be able to get around for one more lap, but he has let most of the other guys through who are on the second flyer.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Big Red Ralph's sort of out of his depth here. He's just jumped back to the pits, so...
Look, anytime some of the guys in the lower divisions of this league jump in and fill in for some of these guys, it's always a good job. Even if they do finish way off the pace or they don't have the pace there, a nice little taste of what it's like to race with some of the faster guys of the league.
Of course.
Got to enjoy that pleasure myself, filling in for Dragon right at the start of the season. Mazda was a little bit of a handful to drive, but did drive some of my fastest laps around Deep Forest and did thoroughly enjoy that night racing with some of the faster guys of the league. It is a bit different when it is race time compared to the practice races. You do have that little bit of extra pressure to perform and that little bit of extra pressure to keep it consistent and keep it smooth compared to some of the practice races, but all in all good fun to experience top split.
I think we're coming towards the end of quali here, so we'll see if anyone can improve. I haven't seen any purple sectors flash up, so...
I would highly doubt to see any more purples coming through. Fixer Chris, however, does improve to go second, then only to be jumped by Goat to fall down to third. Goat managing to find a 14.8.
Yeah, so a lot of the guys seem to be pulling off, getting their race compounds on. Anyone still going? Nah.
And that is qualifying, so congratulations to Scooter 82, I believe it is, picking up the pole position with actually quite a big margin there, 0.4 of a second, I believe it was, over Goat.
No, I think he was only about 0.2 in front of Goat, which is still quite a margin.
Yeah, considering that all these guys are quite fast, a 0.2 margin is actually quite massive in the grand scheme of things. Ralph practicing his pit entry good idea.
Can never hurt.
Yeah, especially with only a small penalty involved for crossing the line.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, with this penalty zone where it is, it's really going to kill your momentum coming down that back straight.
And a slight improvement or a slight change that GT have made to that penalty system as well compared to GT Sport. You actually don't get any throttle percentage once the gamers decide to slow you down to the correct speed. So a 3-second penalty for crossing the pit entry will actually cost you a lot more time being off throttle as well. I think we should jump on with Apex here for the start of first race. 4th spot on the racing line, more or less. And we've got 5 red lights, revs are rising, and it's lights out and away we go for the third and final race of wheel to wheel, and they all file in single file, coming to turn 1. Around the outside, maybe a little bit of touching and barging there, a little bit of loss of grip in the rear, but everyone's through nice and cleanly, sorting themselves out single file through Rouge and Radeon.
Yeah, I think that T1
and
is...
there's a mess.
Oh, who's that? Adam?
That's Adam. That's Adam around at the top of Radeon.
Well, I'm not
Dragging
sure
with
if he had a
1-second
touch.
penalty.
That'd be for corner cutting the top of Radeon there.
Adam has no damage, so I think he may have just lost it on the top of Radeon. Hasn't lost too much time, all things considered, so he's still in this. But your top 3 at the moment, as we go through Bruxelles, is Scooter 82, PLE Goat with about a half-second gap, followed by Fix Chris in 3rd place as they go through No Name.
So it'll be interesting to see when they've all settled down how the race unfolds. And just going through the tyres, everyone seems to be on mediums and looking to do that no stop. So no one's brave enough to try for a pit and then come back through the field.
And yeah, with the lap times these guys are running, it is going to be a real battle of trying to save the tyres while also trying to be consistent. The fuel gauge does show. We've got a big spin in the background.
Fixer Chris, he's caught the AstroTurf on the way out, and that is it. That is a very slippery part of the track.
And that's not going to do his championship battle any good in the first race here.
No, it's not. That's unfortunate for him.
A little bit of damage on the rear of the car, but he can continue on. And then we've got some more dramas at the chicane with Ralph deciding to do a 360. Not the fastest way through there, Ralph, but nice try, mate.
He gets some style points though.
Helping Dale out the style side of things, but yeah. Top 3 at the moment still leads with Scooter 82. Goat is hounding that rear wing there as they go up through Rouge and Radeon.
And a key thing to note is Goat now has a 1.1 second lead back to Apex, so they have broken the slip. So these two now might just run away with it.
Scooter defending heavily. Goat down the inside. That's going to cost them all sorts of time.
Just as I said though.
2 through Lacombe and Malmedy, and Goat gets the run through. Scooter looking to cut back. Maybe down the inside of here, Bruxelles, and then Goat again defending heavily. And just like you said there, Flossie, that 1.2 second gap, all but gone.
Yep, so it's just brought the rest of that train back in. So instead of fighting for first and second, a mistake could cost them several positions now.
And with the way the track's been feeling all week, running just that little bit offline is going to cost you a whole lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah, this car loves the racing line, and if you're off it, hold on.
And I'd actually almost call this a train of 7 cars as Seckers just runs a little bit wide there through the Fania chicane. But I'd call this a train of 7 cars, even though there is about a half-second gap between everyone. The pull of the toe will bring everyone back in just a little bit. The gaps aren't so big that the guys 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment will not be losing out too much.
I'm just watching people go through the chicane. It seems relatively tame, which is good. Oh, as I say that, low side's gone round. I did tell him I might commentate a curse, so I'm sorry, mate.
I mean, you didn't call it beforehand, so
No.
we'll let you off the hook for that one. But again, throughout the week, as low side just decided to just flat stick drift it through the corner, Dragon somehow picked up a half-second penalty.
Yeah,
in
I just
11th.
saw
that. But as we found out throughout the week, and a lot of the drivers are noticing a lot of off-throttle oversteer through the chicane and through La Source, and that has been one aspect or one element to this track and to this race that a lot of drivers haven't yet managed to perfect, which is causing, as you can see on the stream, quite a few issues for these guys.
At the front, Goat's almost broken the slip back to Scooter, which he just has now. So Goat's going to be putting in some blistering laps now, trying to maintain that gap and not let Scooter catch him.
I will say Tombo in 5th spot doing an amazing job with the tyre management in that Porsche there. His tyres are sitting relatively equal in terms of wear across the board with the guys ahead of him. I would probably say that Goat is maybe the best of the bunch. And in case anyone is tracking fastest lap at the moment, the fastest lap king has determined that has gone to, or is going to Goat at the moment with a 16.5. Did go through Stavilo with a 1 second up on his purple time, so expect him to be in the 15s in about a few seconds time.
15s on medium is bonkers. Like, I don't know how he's doing that, and he's just done it.
So a 15.8 for Goat, and the next two guys behind are a 16.2 and a 16.1, and Seckers in 4th with a 16.6. So expect Goat to slowly pull away. And I'd be interested to see what Apex is going to do here up at the top of Kemmel, deep in the slipstream of Scooter 82.
He has gone for the pass.
Scooter 82 not making it easy for him, but Apex sticks the pass.
That was good driving by both of them there. And it's something you can expect with the Div 1 guys. Good, clean racing.
Yeah, they don't leave each other too much room, but they always seem to leave enough room for good clean passes and good clean overtakes.
Yeah, a lot of race awareness.
And yeah, give these guys a big shout out with the connection issues that has plagued GT7 since day one. To have that racecraft and race awareness with the positioning of these cars not being the greatest, as low side does go wide through Poulon up in 10th spot.
He's picked up a penalty.
And picks himself up a half-second penalty.
Oh, and he spun. He spun in the Fangies or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Fania chicane.
Yeah, that's the one. I butchered that, sorry.
Just think of Giorgio Fangio from the old Formula One days, original. And he's found the beach as well. He's found the beach at Stavolo.
He's having an absolute time out there, poor Cap. We'll focus on someone else because he's probably not enjoying himself back there. So we'll just do a quick run through the field. We've got Goat with a 1.5 second lead back to Apex, who's 7/10 clear of Scooter. Sekis is in 4th with a 1.2 second advantage over Tombo, with Showman just behind him. A fair way back, we got Zoo. He's, I guess, leading Adam around in 8th. 2.5 seconds back to Stefco, with another 1.6 seconds back to Fixer Chris, who has jumped Dragon at some point. And then we've got Cap low side with Big Red Ralph bringing up the rear.
And also, Chris has done a great job considering his excursions at Stavlo at the start of the race to find himself up back into the top 10.
Yeah, it's really a damage mitigation at the moment for Chris.
Well, not only that as well, he has surprised me throughout this season as well with the pace he's found in the Dragons' Den choice of cars to be leading this championship with guys like Goat, guys like Adam, Scooter as well.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Mazda, mate.
He's really come into an element of his own this season. This has been a season he'll probably will remember for quite some time. Yeah, all I've got to say is I'm surprised with the pace he's found this season.
It'll definitely be a season to remember if he can improve his position at the moment, as he just gets a little bit sideways coming out of Stavlo.
Does have the tow rope hitched onto the back of Stefco. Probably not going to make any more ground up from Blanchimont onwards, but will be deep in the slipstream up the Camel Straight. Might even be able to make the move beforehand.
Well, he gets a good run out, but I don't. Yeah, he won't want to. He won't want to be giving Stefco the tow down Camel.
Does make the look, and down the inside he goes.
Quite deep.
He's just toying with Stefco a little bit there just to get the tow. And he, like we said, has the tow now going down through Rouge and Radion. And the race has just petered out a little bit. Everyone's just found their feet finally.
So Apex has made some good ground up onto Goat as well. He's brought that down into 1.3 seconds almost.
Chris down the inside of Stefco, up at the top of Camel through Lake Holman, gets the move done, clean as you like.
So the next one for Fixer Chris will be Zoo, but he's got, 6 laps to get him? And those tyres aren't going to be getting any better, so...
Probably considerably more worn compared to Zoo.
Tombo's run wide at Puon, which has allowed Showman up the inside.
And a half-second penalty for all his troubles as well.
Yeah, because why not? He went slower anyway, so...
So that might drop him back maybe into the clutches of Adam. There is 2.5 seconds between those guys. I'd expect Adam to make about a second.
Oh, well over a second, I'd say. As you said, when he hits that penalty zone, he's on the anchors. He doesn't get a choice in it. So half a second of braking, that's going to definitely allow Adam to get back in there.
Yeah, about 1.2, 1.3 made up between Stavro and the chicane, but then Adam
he's just run
decides to throw that all away, going a bit too deep in through the chicane.
Just shows you can practice all you want during the week, but anything can happen during the race.
Exactly right. Exactly right there. You can practice your strategy all you like. You can practice your laps all you like. You can practice with a wide range of skills through the league. When it comes to race day, you may as well just throw all that out the window. And just to update everyone on low side's progress, has decided to go into the pits and bolt on a fresh set of tyres, fresh set of Michelins.
I'd expect to see low side jump out on the softs and potentially go for the purple lap.
And he has done exactly that for us, so good call again on the pit strategy.
Yeah, so he knows his race is done. He's just trying to snag himself and his team an extra point, or however much they're worth.
Going for pride more than anything as well.
Yeah.
And the
So,
wind at the moment will do a bit of favours going up through Blanchimont.
I was just having a look at our leaders, and Apex is now within the slip of Goat. So it's going to get close towards the end, I feel.
And Apex has managed to look after the front tyres just a tad bit more than Goat, so that has surprised me a little bit. I was expecting Goat just to start driving away. Last two laps, a 16.8 and a 16.5 from Goat plays a 16.3 and a 16.2 from Apex. So while Goat may have the outright pace, Apex does have the faster consistency. And so deep in the slipstream here as they go through Erosion Radion. Flat stick up the hill. May not be close enough to make a move this time by. But if he keeps the consistency there towards the end of the race, he's going to give Goat a run for his money.
Seckers shows the nose on Scooter. Not letting him forget that he's there.
And Zoo has just let Fixer Chris through, so Chris is up into 8th spot now, and Dragon has also decided to pit, jump on a sticker set of softs.
Yeah, it can't hurt. I mean, there's what, 4 laps left in the race? Try set some good fast laps and see what happens.
Well, he's out of the pits, and the marker between him and Stefko is 24 seconds. So keep an eye on that gap towards the end of this race, just to see the pace difference is between Stefko and Dragon. Also to note as well, Dragon's still slugging it out on the dual shock, with Stefko riding high and pretty in his $1 million sim rig. I've got to say, I am impressed with Tombo as well in 6th spot. He has done really well to manage the tyres. Again, another guy slogging it out on the dual shock.
Yeah, well, Tombo's got that the modified controller, obviously, as he doesn't have full use of his hands, so he uses his feet as well.
Maybe something we can get organised for Corbin for next year. I know Corbin has been struggling with the tyres as well all season. Tombo and Corbin can play happy feet one day throughout the off-season.
I mean, a little bit of distance between them. One being in bloody Orange or wherever he is, and the other being in New Zealand.
And this is what I keep saying to Tombo, whereabouts is Orange? You can't point to Orange on that. We're back to the racing real quick. Seckers and Scooter were side by side down through Rouge and Radion. Scooter got the better run. Tom Seckers.
Scooter does have slightly worse tyres than Seckers, so I expect by the end of the race, Seckers will have cleared Scooter.
And big look down the inside of Bruxelles. Doesn't get the move done. Just making Scooter think. It will be harming the tyre life of Seckers though, having these looks. And the gap between Goat and Apex up the front has stabilised to around that 6/10 of the second mark. So Apex was making up some good ground on Goat, and the gap has just sort of frozen.
It's just sort of holding there about the 7/10 mark.
Tombo wide at Stabilo, goes well and truly sideways. Not sure if that's internet related or driver error, but that has allowed Adam just to claw back that gap again to Tombo.
We'll see if he goes deep under brakes again.
Learns from his mistakes, was maybe half a car width away from the Apex.
Open. Scooter
Oh,
ready.
yep. Yep, Secker's got him on the pitch straight.
Although Scooter does have the toe. So we'll see what sort of moves Scooter is willing to put on in the dying stages of this race. Not a lot of tyres left to play with though.
We'll see if Seckers goes defensive.
Seckers revving it all the way out in 5th gear. Scooter hovering in 6th, and I think Seckers just held his line there. Didn't feel the need to go defensive. Adam wide. Adam was wide out of Malmedy.
I think that's a bit of lag there because he's sort of the way he's moving.
He's in the sand trap on the exit of Bruxelles, and the outside of Bruxelles is gone.
He has lagged out. That is unfortunate for Adam.
And so that's a free position there for Chris, and that is an unfortunate DNF for Adam.
Hopefully he can get back for race 2. The guys are really going to be in the hurt locker at the moment with how their rear left tyres are feeling.
Yeah, a lot of them are going to run out of tyres on this lap. Guys like Apex, Goat might be able to get one more lap before he is out of tyre, but Apex definitely looks like he's going to run out of tyre. Seckers, or Scooter, he's lost all his tyres already. Well, he's lost his tyre already, so he's driving.
Oh, he's going again.
On the ring.
And I've just noticed as well, Captain Lowside has clinched that purple lap with a 15.6. So some redemption in this race. And the I was just going to say the time between Dragon and Stefko is down to 11 seconds.
That is some massive gains there, although Dragon just decided to drift it out of the chicane.
Do we have any close battles? Not really. So pending a big mistake, I'd say that this is our final positions locked in.
And well, the risk of a big mistake is extremely high, especially with these guys running on no tyres. Apex is out of tyres, so he's just slowly falling the wayside from Goat.
Tombo's out of tyres, Fixer Chris out of tyres, Stefko's out of tyres. We might even see Dragon jump Stefko if he can put some good corners together.
The gap is down to 5 seconds and it is closing quite quickly. Whether you can make that 5 seconds up.
I reckon you'll get him by Blanchimont, maybe even before then. But we'll quickly jump back up with Goat, who's coming through bus stop. Nice and easy, and brings it home. So from go to low, Goat's your winner, followed by Apex. Secker's in third, Scooter crossing in fourth, Showman in fifth, Tombo in sixth, Fixer Chris with a good recovery drive into seventh, Zoo in eighth.
He'll be really happy with that drive there, Chris.
Yeah.
I think he couldn't have done too much more.
Well, we'll see if Dragon can get a good exit out of the bus stop and get round Stefko. Well, he's parked it on the Apex, and he does. He gets the soft tyre drive out. So Dragon in ninth, Stefko in 10th.
That's also another good result there from Dragon as well, being a guy who pitted towards the end of the race and managed to make good use of those the softer compounder tyres.
Captain Lowside flicks it across in 11th. I tell you what, good effort there from Big Red Ralph.
Yeah, look,
you get your time on the stream, mate.
Brings the field up in 12th. Well, rounds out the field in 12th, but he should be happy with that.
Oh, of course.
Also, using this as good practice going into his race proper later on tonight. And just a small delay in the finish after the DNF from Adam. I think it's time we get a drink to loosen up the vocals. And then
I'll jump in the ads, guys.
Yeah, play us a few sponsors ads.
Yep, there's sponsors. Jade Finance.
Do you own a business needing new equipment? Or perhaps you're wanting a good set of wheels for that shiny new bike license? Maybe you're after that well-earned boat for retirement. Or you desperately need a new car or caravan for those family getaways? Get in touch with Jade Finance today.
Back to you guys.
Yep. Alright, so race 1 done. Hammy, what do you make of that, mate?
Well, Gate makes it look easy. Yeah,
He did.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, as we kind of predicted, the no stop being the go-to strategy. However, you really need to watch out for your tyre wear. It's not fun at all.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
well, we'll give the guys a little bit of time to mentally prepare themselves for race 2.
Yeah.
Which is a one-shot hot lap qualifying. So, how do you reckon the guys are going to go in the one shot? You reckon we're going to see much difference to the starting grid of race 1?
Yeah, pretty much the same, I think. But the strategy-wise, you got the mediums you have to use.
Yeah. I think most of the guys will start on the mediums with a full tank, and then between laps 7 and 9, I'd say would be the pit window to come on for the 6 to 4 laps on softs.
Yeah.
So, man, we've just had Adam rejoin, so thankfully he'll be able to get into race 2.
Yeah. Well, he's another good driver of this track.
Adam, yeah, he's quite unlucky there to be to get spun at the top of Radion.
Yeah.
I think it was on lap 1.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there was contact. I didn't see anything. But that's for the stewards to decide.
Stewards will look at that.
Yeah. But yeah, just having a look at the in-game chat, and I think most of the guys are pretty over the Porsches at the moment. So a few of them are going to be happy that this is the last week in the Porsche.
Yeah. Definitely. It's just not a good combination, this track and the Porsche.
No, I think you were saying earlier, because the Porsche is real tail heavy with its MR layout.
Yeah.
It wants to slide through low speed corners, especially.
Yeah. Like, we've had some really good races with the Porsche through the season.
Have. Yep. Yeah, definitely. All right, so the guys have said that they're ready to go. I'll just give them a pit open.
Yep.
And we'll go from there.
Go for that.
So I'm not going to run through the field again, but we'll just fly through and have a look how the guys are going. We'll see if anyone wants to burn any fuel or... Actually, I don't know if anyone does.
No, you can just rev out the gears.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't noticed it. I haven't noticed it in previous races, so...
Yeah, it's one hot lap.
Yeah.
Out lap, hot lap, and then they'll start.
Well, they will get time after their hot lap to start on their compound of choice.
Yeah.
So, as I said, we'd more than likely see most of the guys jump back in and put on the medium tyres.
Yeah, like Cap, he qualified well in the first race.
Yeah, he did. He did really well. I think he started in 4th or 5th, I believe.
Yeah.
So he would have been happy with that. Unfortunate incidents during the race kind of took him out of running. But he was able to show his pace with the fastest lap.
Yeah.
So do you think having slipstream on your hot lap is the go-to, or would you prefer to have clean air?
I prefer clean air, but yeah,
Yep.
some of these guys might, like Gate. I think Gate's trying to get up there to get
Yep.
some slip.
You can't knock the effect of slipstream down the Camel Straight. The main thing is you just don't want to get caught up behind them in the corners.
Yeah.
And Goat is actually...
Yeah, Gate should... Oh, well, Cap slowed right down.
Yeah, Cap's pulled right off. I think he wants a bit of clean air, or he's going to try follow Fixer Chris. So maybe he wanted some slipstream. I believe Apex is just outside the slip of Goat.
But Fixer Chris is right there under the wing.
Yep. Oh, Showman's binned it out of the source. That's unfortunate for him. He's fallen in behind Scooter, or he might get in the way of Tombo. He has slightly. Oh, that's unfortunate for Tombo.
Yeah. Picks up a penalty as well.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room coming down after the source, so when you're in someone's way, it is hard to get out of the way, kind of thing.
Yeah, see, that's where I'll be. I'll be where Adam is, Seka is, Zoo.
Yeah.
All spread out.
Yeah, you don't have anyone to worry about ruining your one chance at putting in a good time.
Yeah. Big Red Ralph might get a good lap in, sitting behind Super Dragon.
Yep. I think he did let Dragon through on Camel.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Big Red Ralph's also on mediums, so...
Yeah.
So what times do you reckon we're gonna see from these guys in one lap?
Yeah, 15 sixes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I reckon we could even get into the 14s.
Yeah.
If it's a hooked up lap, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like Apex maybe. I'm not sure about Gate being out front.
Yeah, potentially not.
We'll see. Oh, 15-1.
Ooh. Apex with a 14.9.
Oh my god. See, this is
and
a full
Chris
tank.
and Chris with a 15.0.
Yeah.
Low side with a 15.3, so he's done well even though he dropped the slip.
Yep.
Showman with a 15.5. Sorry, that was Scooter with a 15.5. Seckers with a 15.5. He got the same time as Scooter there. That's unreal.
Yeah.
Zoo with a 17.9, so he's dropped a little bit of time there. Showman with an 18.0, but again he had the issue. Tombo had an 18.6 with his 1 second penalty. Dragon with an 18.83, and then Big Red Ralph in last with a 20.24. 24. Yep, so the guys are just sitting there waiting to go change some tyre compounds.
Yeah.
And we'll see who does what. But I dare say we're going to see a lot of yellow.
So
Yep.
looks like now everyone's changed.
Yeah. Goat's a bit slow to change.
Yeah.
Fixer Chris on mediums. Mediums. Yep. Everyone's on the mediums. I don't think we're going to see any soft runners to begin with. So the start of race 2 is going to look very similar to the start of race 1. But once you get to that lap 7 period, I'd say you start seeing some people jump into the pits. And the undercut is quite strong around here. Your softs can lap up to 2 seconds a lap quicker, depending.
Yeah.
Um,
I tried a no stop. It didn't work. 13th
in race
lap.
2,
Yeah.
Mate, you're insane.
It didn't work. 13th lap, terrible.
Sorry, gentlemen, I'm back. What did
No,
I
that's
miss?
just the quali, mate, but that's all right. I reckon we'll jump on with Scooter in 6th.
Yep.
Blood
So
red lights. And lights out and away they go. A little bit more tame on the start this time. Still merging in single file. Scooter way down the inside there. And holding position. No big moves.
I think
No big spinners.
I think Dragon and Showman slightly came together there, and Dragon came off worse for wear, but there's a little bit of door bumping. I don't see anything wrong with that.
And the whole field running the medium tyre. Chris
Yeah.
giving Apex a nice big push.
So I was saying to Hammy, Touchy, that your likely strategy will be mediums until about lap 7 or 9, like in between there. And that's when you'd see the people jump in to put on the softs. You might see some crazy people doing it on lap 6, but I wouldn't think so.
You don't reckon anyone's going to take the consistency of the medium tyre and run a double stint, just changing
Nah.
the medium tyres?
Nah, I'd be very surprised.
And can the fuel, and what about fuel? Are we able to run the fuel tank for 13, or is that a bit of a stretch as well?
No, you will need to put in a little bit of fuel, maybe 10% kind of thing. But with half the field, half the field running nose to tail, there's going to be quite a lot of fuel saving going on. So some of the guys might even get away without putting any fuel in.
Top 3 at the moment, Goat, Chris and Apex. Apex taking the natural lead out the front in the Porsche. About a 6/10 gap over Chris, so a fairly decent gap already in the first lap. And noticing that the slipstream here around Spa hasn't really been pulling anyone right up to the back of them at a rate of knots.
It does seem
gradual around here.
it does seem quite balanced. It's also in the one-make cars as well, so it's not like there's a car with ludicrous top speed like the Supra Group 3 car. So
A race of 2 halves, or sort of a race of 3 halves even forming at the moment. The top 7 managed to break away from Stefco, and then again another little group with Dragon, Zoo and Ralph bringing up the rear. Yeah, different ideas and different driving styles playing out at the moment.
yeah, so the good thing with race 2 is on your medium stint you don't need to try and conserve your tyre life because you're not pushing for 11 laps. So you're able to get in there, do some real push laps, wear those mediums down because you're only on them for, as I said, 7 to 9 laps. Low side trying to drift through Puon, not going to work well.
Seeing a bit of smoke, or maybe it's just sun glare.
Oh, there might have been a bit of tyre smoke. As I said, he's trying to DK through the through Puon. So he hasn't quite dropped out of the slip yet. He's getting taily, but most of the guys seem to be running quite well behind each other. As I say that, the top 2 have just broken the slip back to Goat, but we'll see if that closes up under braking into a bus stop. No. So we might see the top two pull away here, if they work well together. Because like last time with, who was it? Might have been Goat and Scooter, I believe, were fighting and let the other group catch back up. Oh, Lowside's found himself in a bit of no man's land. Sorry, I'm not talking too much. It's just at the moment there's not a great deal going on. As I say, that Showman's past Stefko. He's received a hefty bump from Tombo, who broke quite late. Oh, and he's given him another one as he's rejoined the track. And Showman's gotten a 0.5 second penalty for his trouble. He's not going to be too thrilled with that. Unfortunately, Stefko's come out the worst for that. He's lost 2 positions there and a great deal of time.
Low side making up for lost time in race 1, currently chilling and cruising around in 4th spot. He's doing so far so good. Hopefully commentator's curse hasn't come into effect for him this race.
No, I just commentate a curse Showman, unfortunately. But if I'm doing one a race, then that's okay.
And again, they're straight into the 15s on the mediums.
Yeah, that's very quick.
Gaps have stabilised out the top 3 at the moment, around a second each. Top 4 even. Big gap from Seckers through the Tombo, 7th and 8th. Nearly 5 seconds to the good. Adam and Seckers are fighting it out side by side going into
The source, Adam up the inside.
1. And Adam's got the move down the inside.
On the power well.
So Seckers will have the toe all the way up through Camel. Just needs to time it right here.
I wouldn't think you'd want to fight too much in this first stint because you're just giving the guys in front more breathing room on those soft tyres.
Adam's not making that move easy for him.
No.
Seckers does get the move down the inside, so good pass. Surprised that I'm not seeing any sort of bump drafting Floss up the straight.
Yeah, the guys seem to have moved away from that, which I think is a good idea. In the real world, you're not going to try to give your rivals a bit of help. We're not NASCAR, so the less bump drafting, I reckon, the better.
Poor Zoo down in 11th, just cruising around a 1 second penalty, most likely top of Ratty on there for that one.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But again, the field's just sort of spaced itself out. Everyone's sort of found their own little bit of track. And probably our 2 battles at the moment as Goat goes wide.
Goat very wide. He was lucky there.
Watch him pick up a half-second penalty and called it. So that's going to drop him off this. The top 2 there will drop him back into the clutch as a captain. 100 and see if Goat will just push a little bit harder this lap just to eke out a bit more space with that penalty. A pending penalty will be served next lap.
It's possible. Just looking at the lap times, Apex has done 3 2-minute 15s on mediums. I'm struggling to do that on softs.
Apex really knows the back of the front and back, the left and right of the Porsche.
Yeah, that is unreal. Unreal pace from Apex. Victor Chris is doing well to hang in there. Just outside the slipstream range, but he hasn't lost sight of him. Seckers and Adam have now joined the back of Scooter and Captain Lowside. So we've got a nice little battle for fourth now. We'll see if these guys work well together. What else? Yeah, Lowside's lost about a second this lap to Goat. So I think Goat's going to be quite safe with his 0.5 second penalty. He shouldn't lose a position because of it. But if he does, then he's right back in with this battle pack. No, he still manages to be 1.3 seconds to the good of Captain Lowside going into bus stop chicane. Apex improves on his fastest lap on lap 5. I think is just wild. Sek is showing the nose to Scooter, coming down in towards... I blanked on the most famous corner name, Eau Rouge. And Adam gets a good run down to Kemmel Straight, in behind Scooter. So he's made that pass cleanly on Seckers for 6th. I'm not sure where my commentator buddy's gone, but I'll try hold yous off. What about you, Hammer? You seeing anything interesting, mate?
Just following Adam and
Yep.
Seckers seem to be doing it.
Yeah. This is the closest battle we've got on track. This little 4-car battle. Oh, Adam runs a little bit wide out of no name. He shouldn't pick up a penalty there, but it hasn't helped his time at all.
Yeah, he's dropped off a bit.
Yeah. But we are coming towards the end of the medium stint here. We might see some people in, but I wouldn't expect to.
Yeah, big call, 7 laps on softs.
Yep.
But the undercut would work really good.
Yeah, especially if you can find yourself in some clean air.
Oh, Adam's gone wide.
Oh no. Secker's going to make a move into Blanchamont. Yes, he's going to look up the inside, hang Adam out. Ooh. They might have touched a little bit there.
Adam's gone wide again.
Hopefully he doesn't pick up a penalty. He has 0.5. That's unfortunate, and he's gone into the pits.
Oh, okay, yep. Same with
So
Tombo.
Adam. Oh yep, and Tombo. Well, Tombo's brave, trying to do 7 laps on a controller.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out for him.
Yep, we'll see how the undercut goes.
So now, because of that fighting with Adam, Seckers is now outside of the slipstream range from Scooter. So he's sort of in no man's land at the moment.
Yeah.
So a bit unfortunate for him. But with some clean air, he might be able to get onto the back of these guys through the twisties. And everywhere else, it seems to be pretty much stock standard. Apex, Fixer Chris, Goat. No real changes up the front.
Yeah. Apex has gone out of the 15s into the 16s now.
Oh, finally. That's unreal time.
Yeah, it is, incredible. Like, he had the fastest lap on his second lap, like, and that held for 4 laps.
And then he beat it on his 5th lap.
Yeah.
So, by my understanding, your tyres should be the best at the start of your stint, not bloody 6 laps into it.
Yeah. Or tank of fuel.
Yeah, these guys can do things I can't. So, and we'll see. Have a look through. Everyone else is sort of running in clear air by themselves. Zoo's stopped, but he's put on the mediums again, so he's doing the double on mediums.
Oh, yeah, maybe Tombo did as well.
Has Tombo come back out on the mediums? No, Tombo's on the softs.
Yep, Apex Humper's in. Fixer Chris is going for another.
Yeah, so when I was practicing with Chris throughout the week, he would come in around lap 9.
Yep.
Because he's still able to put together some very quick medium laps. So everyone else is in. Apex, Goat, Captain Lowside, Scooter, Seckers, Showman. Stefko's making his way in. Dragon will be in. So we'll see where Adam finds himself. Granted, he has served a 0.5 second penalty, so that would have slowed him down a little bit. But over his soft out lap, he would have gained some time back. Oh no, Dragon's gone for another lap. That's quite brave, but we'll see how that works for him. And he's come out right behind Captain Lowside. And Adam has managed to jump Seckers. So even though he went in behind him with a penalty, he's come out 7/10 clear.
Yeah, that's how quick the undercut is.
Yeah, and that time's going to grow down the Camel Straight because you don't get the same speed coming out of the pits as you would on an out lap or a hot lap.
Yeah. But he's got to make them last 7 laps now.
He does. So by the end of it, they're going to be feeling quite dicey. But Adam's quite good on his tyres. He's not known to like shear his tyres away or anything like that, as he just runs up the back of Dragon there. Dragon obviously on very worn mediums. Not what Adam wanted to run into. And Seckers is going to... Well, he's poking his nose up the inside of Pouon. This is not a too wide corner, boys. And I believe Scooter has jumped Captain Lowside as well. So I think they went into the pits in the opposite positions. So Scooter might not have had to put in as much fuel as he was sitting in behind Cap for the first stint. Oh yep, Fixer Chris in at the end of lap 8. 23 seconds clear of Apex when he went in. So there might be a second in between them on the way out, if 24 seconds is correct. So behind Apex you got Goat, who's over 4 seconds back. Scooter another 3.5 seconds in that battle with Captain Lowside. Well, Adams managed to jump Seckers. Oh, there's been a bit going on for 6th. So I think Dragon caught up 3 of them. I'm not too sure what happened at the bus stop chicane, but Tombo and Seckers are having a nice little drag down the start-finish. Seckers holds his line up the inside nicely. And Fixer Chris emerges close to 3 seconds behind Apex. So I'm not too sure what the time gap was going into the pits. Before Apex went into the pits.
Yeah, I'd say it was about 1.5 seconds.
Yep.
And then he pulled out roughly right behind him, but like you said, coming out of the pits and coming down Camel Straight.
Yeah, you just lose too much speed.
Later.
I believe Touchy's rejoined us.
Yeah, sorry guys.
No, that's okay.
Looks like I haven't missed much.
You've missed the pit stops.
Yeah, just
Pit
the
stop
undercut
cycle.
some guys were doing.
So Adam was able to perform an undercut on Seckers quite nicely.
A very good undercut there from Adam.
Yep, Tombo's done well to bring himself back up into this fight as well. Showman's hanging in there.
Yeah, Showman's just hovering around there as well. So you've got Scooter Rare Sandwich with her mobile meat, fitting for Tombo. It's going to be an interesting watch towards the end with these guys on the faster compound of tyre. And I believe I'm checking out Zoo in 13th at the moment. He's fallen way off the back of the grid, but he's stuck to mediums, I believe.
Yeah, so he did a double medium. He's the only one on the field to have done that, whereas Apex sets a purple lap by over a second with a 14.5.
And Goat's not too far away with a 14.7. Guys really burning the tyres up really quick.
Hickser had a bad lap.
That was his out lap.
Oh, okay.
So, in terms of out lap, I don't think it was too bad. His out lap was actually 2 seconds quicker than Apex's and Goat's.
Oh yeah, that's
And Apex going on again for another purple. Lowside's doing well in the top 5. It looks like everyone's tripping over first sector purples.
Yeah, Captain Lowside and Scooter have had a good battle, but Scooter's been able to gap him out of the pits. And it sort of hung around that 1 second mark.
There's small variation in the fuel between both those guys. I'm fairly certain they're both filled to the end, but it'd just be interesting to see if Scooter may need to do just a tiny bit of fuel management there right at the depth, or if he'll be good to go right until the end.
No, I would say that would be more than enough fuel. You're looking at maybe 9% of fuel per lap in the Porsche around here. So I think Scooter's going to be fine. I wouldn't expect him to be fuel saving too much.
Yeah, look, these guys wouldn't run themselves short of fuel, especially around such a long track.
No.
Spa is, and Apex Humper just playing on the wheel a little bit, coming out of the chicane. Goat and Chris nose to tail. Goat's just gone purple. 14.3.
14.3. Bloody hell.
Jesus Christ. Where these guys are finding that time, I do not know. Especially with how heavy they're using the tyres already.
There is only 3 laps left, so I don't think tyre wear is going to be too much of an issue, except for who were our early stoppers? It was Tombo and Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Adam's got the ability to manage the tyres. Both of them are probably looking. Adam's looking a little bit better compared to Tombo, and Showman's right up his rear wing. Looking down the inside, he's Tombo's left racing room. Showman had a look. Tombo's there to fight another day.
Yeah, these two have been scrapping all race. Probably not as clean as they'd like, but it's been entertaining, that's for sure.
Showman does have the tyres over Tombo, so Showman can just bide his time here and pick and choose his battles as to when he wants to make the move.
Yeah, in the war of attrition, it's going to be hard to hold out Showman over Tombo.
The gap between Chris and Goat's just gone back out to just north over a second. As I say,
Yes.
that Goat's got the run through Stavilo and he's slowly crawling back on Chris.
Yeah, so Chris came in a lap later than Apex and Goat.
Showman
So
just gone wide.
Was there contact, do you know?
Nah, there wasn't. He went wide and went on the AstroTurf.
Bugger.
Yeah.
That's the slipperiest part of the track, I feel.
Yeah, it gives you a reminder of Suzuka and around Spoon there.
Yes.
Don't want to go any further than the Ripple Strip.
No.
It'll be falling off the edge of the earth, I like to say. Lap times between the top three go to 14.6, Chris at 14.6, and Apex at 15.2, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yep. So Fixer Chris has shown remarkable consistency. His last two lap times are separated by 5 1,000ths.
And again, around a track like this with the grip not being there, that's some really good driving from Chris. Just goes to show the effort he's been putting in this season and the step up he's made throughout the season. I don't know if he's going to be able to get onto the back of Apex Humper here.
He has managed to take out a second of Apex Humper already since he's made his pit stop. So he might get close.
I do wonder if Apex is maybe just saving a little bit for one last lap push.
I've just noticed in the YouTube chat as well that Super Dragon, this game is flawless and has no bugs at all. Smiley face. So a bit of live updates from the track. Good to see. Please focus.
You cannot fault Polyphony for a solid game. And Tombo, I've just jumped on board with Tombo real quick here. Fuel gauge is flashing for him. So fuel may be a small issue for Tombo. Seckers is also flashing on the gauge as well, and so is Captain Lowside.
Yeah, the front three are all flashing.
Final lap around Spa. For Ralph, he's still got 2 more races to go. Second.
Big Red Ralph's had a great race.
He's done really good, mate. I've got to give him props tonight for filling in for Dale. Some big shoes to fill in the AMS Excavations Damn Hexicans team. Dale has shown us some really good speed the last couple of seasons, braving it out in the Ferrari with no man dead to go. And for Ralph to pop in and fill in for Dale tonight, he's done a proper job, and he can be happy knowing that while Zoo may not have had the race he's wanted to have tonight for this 13 lapper, the fact that Ralph's going to finish ahead of him, he can hold that up high.
Oh, of course.
And again, he's been running super consistent times. Even through his pit cycle, his times were very consistent.
Right. So coming out of Stavlo now, Apex with a 1.5 second lead over Fixer Chris. A bit too much for Chris to get on top of, unfortunately.
Yeah, that gap from last lap has sort of just stabilised again, so I think Apex just saved a little bit, managed the gap, on the penultimate lap, just to have one final push run through.
So through the bus stop. Apex, another from W2W winner, followed by Fixer Chris with Goat in third. Scooter's done well to bring it home in fourth, in front of Captain Lowside in fifth. Adam not far behind in sixth, with Seckers behind in seventh. Tombo is coming home on rims in eighth, just ahead of Showman in the ninth. And then a nice little gap back to Stefko. So that bus stop is not fun on your last lap. You just want it to be done, but you know you have to take the corner properly, otherwise you're just going to spin. So Dragon's bringing it through the bus stop now for 11th. Not the race he wanted to have. Oh, he's going to try reverse it over, I guess. Nah, just doing some style points for Dragon there.
Finally got it there.
Yeah. Big Red Routh with a great race, coming back in 12th. Congratulations, mate. Welcome to Div 1. And bringing up the rear is Zoo, who's turned into a lawnmower, I believe. Oh, he's... It's just one of those nights for Zoo, unfortunately. Oh, he's going to go into the pits. Of course he is. He's gone sideways in the pits. Let's finally reset him. I wasn't sure what they were going to do there. It was just holding him for a bit. And that is Division 1 at Spa-Francorchamps. I bet those guys are thinking, thank God.
Yeah, it's a good
a race
race.
to remember for some, and a race to forget for others.
Yeah, good for Apex, Fix Chris, Goat, well done.
Yeah. Yeah, Goat and Apex finishing on the podium in both races, so that'll do well for their points. Fixer Chris unfortunately had that race 1 spin, but he was able to make the positions back up in race 2 there.
The race 2 result will make up for the loss of points in race 1. So it'll probably see a small gap or a small reduction in his gap for the final round of the season. We're yet to see other drop rounds come into play. They should come into play at the end of tonight's racing. But yeah, well done to these guys for the 2 races tonight around difficult conditions.
Yeah, it's not the easiest track to get around, as you've said.
It is definitely worth a track to drive. A track to race is something that's a completely different discussion. Although, having said that, with the changes that are being constantly made, it is hard to keep on top of everything in the world of GT7. But I think it's time to throw in our final words. And again, a big thanks to all our sponsors for bringing the stream to us. And a big thanks to these guys, the 13 guys that race week in and week out. Give us something to watch. They have been out of the spotlight the last couple of weeks, so it's good to bring them back in, and they've brought some good racing with them as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, guys.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
And yeah, big thank you to you, Hammy, for bringing us the visuals and stepping in for us as well.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, tune in next week as we final round of the season around the home of endurance racing, the home of GT Endurance Racing. But from me, Untouchables, and from Fossey, it's bye from now, and we'll see you guys soon.